Today's final of the 2022 Final World Cup is expected to bring down the curtain on 1 month, well, precisely 29 days, of global sports excitement and focus on the Gulf state of Qatar. After 64 games already played, this evening's showcase event will be the much anticipated final match between defending champions France and Argentina. Several subplots have been weaved around this game, including the fact that Argentina's inspirational captain, Lionel Messi, could be on the verge of winning the only major title that has eluded him during a trophy-laden career, both for club and country. Meanwhile, the story of this World Cup cannot be complete without a generous mention of Morocco's exploits. Well, Arise correspondent Aaron Akrejola has been on the ground for the last 29 days with his daily update of the football action. He joins us now from Doha, Qatar. Aaron, good to have you on the program.
All right, Doctor, thank you very much. We are live at the FIFA Fan Festival where thousands of people have actually gathered to watch the game between Argentina and France, and we have some Albi Celeste fans behind me. And let me call in Lemar. Come here. Okay, there, come here. Okay, there, yeah. All right. Okay, calm down, guys. Okay, so come on, talk to me. All right, today, Lionel Messi will be playing his final game for the Albi Celeste of Argentina.
Yes.
Do you think it will end in tears, or will they be jubilating after 90 minutes?
I'm sure he's going to lift the trophy and he's going to put an end to the God debate. It's definitely Messi, for sure. He's going to lift it.
You've already seen the lineup. Are you okay with what Scaloni has actually put out there against France?
It's a perfect lineup, actually. He has studied well and he has put at the perfect lineup. I'm sure they're going to beat France today.
All right, we'll let you go because we know you guys have itching to go on there. But talk to me.
Yeah, sure.
If it doesn't happen today for Lionel Messi, do you still think he's still the greatest player that's ever lived?
What happens today, he's the greatest of all time. That's the end to the line.
Vamos, Argentina! Messi is the only God!
All right, speaking about the only GOAT or the greatest of all time, Doctor, I must actually tell you that looking at the lineup of the Albi Celeste against the Le Bleu of France in what will be a straight shootout if it doesn't end after 120 minutes, let's actually tell you that in goal, Emiliano Martinez is actually starting for them between the sticks. Of course, they've got Molina, Romero, Otamendi, and Tagliafico in that particular lineup. In the midfield, one man comes back into the midfield. Angel Di Maria, Rodrigo De Paul, Fernandez, Alistair. Then up front in a 4-4-2 formation is Alvarez, who has gotten 4 goals in this World Cup, and the inspirational captain, Lionel Messi. Before we talk about France, I'm here with AB. AB, I've actually just reeled out the lineup for this particular game. The game is actually up and running. Talk to me, what is your impression about the lineup that Scaloni has put out there?
Well, first of all, this lineup is a totally different, or almost totally different one from Argentina's lineup in 2018, the team that met France and lost 4-3. Now you have so many replacements, like the likes of Rodrigo De Paul, who wasn't even in the national team at that time. Alvarez, same team. The likes of Enzo Fernandez, who has also been a very beautiful player at this year's World Cup. You also had the likes of Martinez. In the 2018 World Cup, he was a fan, and now he's almost one in contention to actually become the Golden Glove winner. So you can't really fault Scaloni's lineup. One important thing to note is that Paredes, who has been, well, not so consistent, being good in some games and instrumental to some goal errors, is not in this starting lineup. So I think it is a bit of a relief for the Argentine side. So now whether this starting lineup will actually do anything different to the France side is left to be seen. But I know for sure that this Argentina squad is looking good.
All right, you say it's looking good. Let's find out if this is the team that will deliver the holy grail for Lionel Messi. We know his cabinet is filled with trophies. One is missing. and the biggest of them all.
Well, Aaron
Here in
Akerejola.
Doha, they've actually done the routines. They have been testing themselves. Yes, I can hear you, doctor.
Yeah, Aaron Akerejola is good to see again that you are not alone in Qatar. We also have Ebi Nyomo from the Abuja Arise News studio. I hope she's enjoying the World Cup as much as you are doing. But I would like to ask both of you two issues about this. And I'd like to start with you,
It's been a
Ebi.
very wonderful experience, Doctor.
Yes, but I would like to ask you, the Golden Boot
Doctor, it's
Award.
been a very interesting.
The Golden Boot
Okay.
Award. We
Well,
have,
the Golden Boot Award is something. Yeah,
who do you think will take it? Kylian Mbappe
the Golden Boot Award
or
is.
Messi?
Yeah. Well, as it stands, both are on 5 goals, but Lionel Messi currently tops Mbappe because of the number of assists he has. He has 3 assists and Mbappe has 2. It's going to be quite tight to say because in the last 2 games, Mbappe has not been on the score sheet, whereas Messi has been on the score sheet. But I know for sure that Mbappe might just catch his name on the score sheet, as well as Lionel Messi. But what will now matter is the number of assists both players have, because as we know, both players are good goal scorers. So the assists will actually differentiate those 2 players.
Okay, Aaron, let me just dial back to the third place playoff yesterday, where Morocco, they still managed to do us proud. They got the 4th place. Croatia got the 3rd place. But the Moroccans have been complaining about the officiating of the referee. They did so before the 3rd place playoffs. They did also they have done so yesterday with Ashraf Hakimi protesting directly to Gianni Infantino. And we have been told that FIFA, doesn't even want the footage to be out there in the public. What do you say about that? Should Morocco just be satisfied with the fact that, okay, they got to the 4th position, the best record achieved by any African country, considering the fact that the protests that they have lodged back to back will have no effect. We are now in the finals.
Doctor, that particular game probably wrong Morocco the wrong way, and officiating sometimes were dodgy, and I'm sure Morocco were feeling hard done towards the end where Ashraf Hakimi felt he should have been given the penalty. But when you even look closely at the ball, I'm sure VAR would have reviewed that particular incident, and you find out that it was even outside the 18-yard box. Morocco have been phenomenal in this tournament. It's unfortunate that they are leaving empty-handed. We're hoping that at least a bronze medal or a bronze finish will be phenomenal for them, and it will just cap off what has been a historic run, not just for Morocco, not just for Africa, but the entire Arab region. But as it stands right now, Morocco have given their all. They should not be sore losers because the game was played in 90 minutes and ultimately goals did settle the game. Although they are clamoring for penalties here and there, officiating would always bring up contentious issues. The World Cup has been no different. Several people, Lionel Messi has called out referees, some of the biggest names in the game. Pepe have also called out a particular referee, and I must say that will never go away. A lot of people thought that the introduction of VAR will mean that probably officiating will be easier, but we just found out that officiating has taken a different curve from what it used to be. As it stands right now, Doctor, I'll also tell you, a lot of people are feeling aggrieved that they should have probably progressed to the next phase of this competition. No thanks to the referee. But I must say, sometimes you play what is in your hands, and if it actually falls in your favor, why not? Lionel Messi and Kylian Mbappe will say that they have worked hard to get where they are, and they were not given any favors by the referees.
Well, Ebi, is anybody going away from this World Cup empty-handed, really, in real terms? Considering the fact that every qualifying team got 1.2 million pounds, the overall winner today will walk away with 35 million pounds. The runners-up, 3rd place, 4th place, they too are going away with millions of pounds. The richest World Cup ever, 590 million pounds. Talk to us about the money aspect of this tournament. Hello, AB.
A lot of money has been put into this World Cup. Yeah, Doctor, I can hear you.
Yeah.
A lot of money has been put into this World Cup. You can see it not just from what the team will be taking after the World Cup. You can see it from Qatar itself, the stadiums, everything. But what is important to note is that 29% increase from the last World Cup against France. France had 35, and now it's 42 million euros collected. In 2014, it was 29 million euros. So it's an 80% increase from Brazil's time. You can't really phantom it. It's been so much. And what's important is that history has been made. Different upsets, history made by Morocco. So it is not just the fact that the winner will hold the head high and say they were able to gain 42 million euros. They took a very difficult journey to this final. And like I said, so many journalists after this World Cup, fans after this World Cup, we testify that it might just become one of the best because you have 8 different stadiums around here. And some journalists were able to cover 4 games in one day. And other World Cups, it was not possible. Aaron, you were at Russia and we didn't see that happen. So the prize money is something very important. And other teams will put a lot of effort to ensure that they get victory. So it's a big one for Qatar and big one for FIFA.
Okay, Aaron and AB, before we begin to talk about the match today and your predictions, it looks like Nigeria was represented. Before I came to the studio, although I would rather be at home watching the match myself, but, you know, the show must go on. You know, Nigeria was represented. I saw Davido, along with the lady from Trinidad and Aisha from Qatar, the host country, and other performers out there. And I felt, well, we may not be at the World Cup, but Davido is out there representing us and carrying the Nigerian flag and singing higher, higher. Let's do it together, the world together, preaching the message of unity, the love of the game, the passion of the game, and how unity is important in the world. I'd like both of you to comment on the importance of that moment that I watched before I came to this seat. Let me start with
Doctor,
you, Aaron.
a lot of people have said Afrobeats. Yes, of course, a lot of people have said Afrobeats is not just taking over the world. Afrobeat is the music of the 21st century, and a lot of Gen Zs are vibing heavily to Afrobeat, and Davido is one of the biggest exponents from Africa, not just from Nigeria, in terms of Afrobeat and what they've done to the growth of that particular genre. So it's only befitting that such a fella will be present to actually put Africa once again on the global map, whereby 32 nations have gathered. You have an African there that is singing and actually bringing African flavor in terms of music to the center stage for the entire world to see. Because you and I know this, just alone in the FIFA Fan Festival that we have been in the course of the last 28 days, 1.8 million people have gathered. Of course, the World Cup will certainly break numbers in terms of viewership. Billions certainly tune in for a game of this magnitude. And to see Davido there, it says a lot.
Ebi, the importance of Davido.
It's a very big one. When it was announced, Doctor, when it was announced that Davido would be at the closing ceremony, you could see social media on fire because everyone was commenting, expressing their happiness. When he could not make the opening ceremony, it was also a sad one for everybody as he was mourning himself. So Davido coming here, I would say headlining and the closing ceremony, it's a very big one for Africa, in as much as Nigeria did not qualify for this World Cup. And so many fans were like, where are the Super Eagles? Where are the Super Eagles? But Davido has come and put his mark. It goes to show that aside football, aside sports, there's a lot to expect from Africa. There's a lot to expect from Nigeria. There's a lot for Nigeria to do. And hopefully, Nigerian sports sector, yes, athletics has done that, but Nigerian football sector replicate this. Davido brought Qatar to a standstill. Can Nigeria do this in subsequent World Cup? Morocco did that. Can Nigeria do that? Yes, the songs released this time out we're so unifying. You could hear some songs that had French singers, that had Spanish singers, you had Arabic singers and English singers in one song. So it brings the unity of football. That football represents just more than a game. It brings more than a game. It is a way of life, basically.
Well, the last time Africa hosted a World Cup in South Africa and Shakira was singing, "It's Africa's time." One way or the other, it looks like it's Africa's time in this particular World Cup, from both the cultural side and the performance of Morocco. But let me ask you, what are the best odds for this game, this ongoing game between Argentina and France? Because it's possible, Aaron, you may be supporting Argentina and AB may be supporting France. What do you think is likely to happen?
Doctor, it's the other way around. I'm a firm believer that France will be doing the double for the first time in 60 years. I am quite confident that Didier Deschamps knows what it takes to win and win at the highest level. This is not something you just walk into. This is something you cultivate over a period of time. And I think maybe, just maybe, Argentina might fall short today, and it might be premium tears for Lionel Messi as he bows out.
Okay, AB, obviously you think it's Messi's
It's a
moment.
very big game. It's a very big game. I would tilt to the side of Argentina. Well, not just because of Lionel Messi, but because of the fact that when you watch this team, you see a total alliance from every team member for Lionel Messi. They want to see him end his career on a high. Yes, it might cause an error when you are so optimistic or when there's a lot of pressure on you, but I still see that they know what it means to have lost the final again, and I don't think they will want a repeat of that. So I just feel Lionel Scaloni has done so much in the Argentine side since 2018. I feel that this will just crown all his efforts and Lionel Messi's efforts as an extraordinary player.
Okay, I would like to thank both of you for being on the ground. But could you, before we go, tell us what the mood is out there, the level of excitement, the reaction of the fans? You are on the ground. Tell us what is going on.
Doctor, there's been a lot of screens behind us, and as you can actually see, people are gathered here, and it's non-stop. We've been trying to keep our focus because people out here have been screaming, shouting, cheering their teams on. Only one team will come out winners today. I don't know who that team will be. Will it be Argentina, the Albi Celeste, or the Le Bleu of France? We'll have to wait and see.
166 goals have been scored in this World Cup, with Kylian Mbappe and Lionel Messi as the top goal scorers with 5 each. There have been other superstars in that World Cup. Julian Alvarez of Argentina, Olivier Giroud, also of France. But what are those special moments that you think should be the big takeaways for us watching this World Cup, and the future? Let me start with you, Ebi.
Doctor, I didn't get your last statement.
I was asking you, what are those big takeaways? I know there were giant slayers. We all saw that. Saudi Arabia beating Argentina, Morocco beating Belgium, beating Portugal, and all of that, and getting to the 4th place. But what are those big moments that the world must take away?
Oh, yeah, first of all, coming into this World Cup, so many predicted a player like Darwin Núñez to go very far. So many predicted other players like Gavi, Pedri and all. But so many did not see the likes of Alvarez taking over the World Cup. He's almost been as instrumental as Lionel Messi to the Argentine squad. And you also look at France. France came with so many injured players, so many, Pogba, Kante, so many Nkunku and all, but they have been able to reach the final for the first time back-to-back in this century. So it goes to show that, yes, football can almost never be predicted. But aside the predictability of this game, we've also seen new stars. We've seen price tags, humongous price tag put on so many players, like the Moroccan goalkeeper that has Bonu. We've also seen Gavdiol, who's a 20-year-old, considered one of the best defenders. So it's a very big one. And like you can hear the screams of people behind us. Argentina are 1 goal ahead. And Lionel Messi has scored his 4th penalty of this tournament. So I think it's quite remarkable. 4 penalties to the finals, a big one. I think it should be the first in a tournament. 4 penalties, kicks for 1 player. So he currently leads. He's substantially ahead of Mbappe. He's now on 6 goals. Mbappe's on 5 goals. He has 3 assists, and Mbappe has 3 assists.
Ebi, sorry to interrupt you. I hear that Argentina has just been awarded a penalty, and Lionel Messi has just scored a goal.
He scored it.
Yes, making it 6 goals now for Lionel Messi, and Argentina being ahead. Well, very exciting World Cup final.
Yeah, yes, we've seen that happen. Lionel Messi has scored his 4th penalty goal of the tournament, the most in a tournament, World Cup tournament, and he's now 6 goals. That's 1 goal clear of Mbappe and 1 assist clear of Mbappe. As it stands, Argentina leads. But one thing is for sure, when it comes to an Argentina and France game, it's always a goal-scoring spree. We saw the last time they met, it ended 4-3. So the game just started. France have their own. Olivier Giroud is a perennial goal scorer. We have Mbappe. Yes, Theo Hernandez, who could actually spring a surprise. So it's not all over. Argentina are leading, good one for them, but they should be wary of France.
Okay, Aaron, your observations so far.
I must actually say that what a remarkable story, and it comes from from 2 sets of teams. I must say, first of all, Saudi Arabia had the game of their life, beating the Albi Selassie of Argentina. But just imagine the remarkable turnaround from losing their first game at the beginning of the World Cup to right now leading and putting one hand on that particular trophy. It says a lot about the Albi Selassie and their resolve. I still think the game is still open and a lot is still to be expected from both teams. But what a remarkable turnaround for Argentina and what a tournament for Saudi Arabia.
Well, whatever happens today, certainly history will be made. But referees are major parts of this particular World Cup, 2022 World Cup in Qatar. We've seen referees being sent home. Antonio Mateo Lahoz, was sent home because of his performance in the Argentina versus Netherlands match. But now we have the referee on the ground today, Semun Masiniak, who was chosen by the man in charge of referees, Peluigi Colina, who has had great influence in this particular tournament. Do you expect, or do you not think that, there will be complaints or there will be no complaints about the performance of, Semun Masiniak in this particular final, considering the fact that he did well in the match between Argentina and Australia, and also France versus Denmark.
Yeah, Doctor, one thing is for sure, the fact that when it comes to a game, the losers almost always complain about how the referee officiated. But for the Argentine game, we've always known Mateos as a little bit of a controversial referee, especially in the La Liga. So leading on to the game, when he was announced as a referee for that match, there were already complaints before the game even started. And after that, he did not surprise. So that is that. But for this game, I don't see any reason anyone complain, be it Argentina or France. But as football goes, the loser almost always complains. So it's not going to be a surprise if they do.
Aaron, you think Semun Masiniak is fine enough and that there will be no complaints hereafter? Aaron? Okay. Have we lost audio connection with Aaron and Abi in Doha, Qatar? If that is the case, Aaron and Abi, I think we should allow you to go and, pay more attention to the ongoing match. I'm sure tomorrow morning, you and I will be here on the same seat, on the same platform, to discuss how it all ended. Thank you very much, Aaron, and thank you very much, Ibi Yomo, our correspondent in Doha, Qatar.